So what happens? Where do we go from here? Now, you know that I had a theory that it would be easier to oppose the TPP if Trump tried to pass it than if a Democrat did. It would be easier to oppose bad things that by a Republican than oppose bad things like a Democrat. Well, the House and Senate is Republican, so we'll see what happens. But Trump definitely puts the ugly face on ugly policies. Right now, we got cops cracking the heads of peaceful protesters in North Dakota at the behest of corporations. Here's what I'm going to tell people. Don't freak out. It's not as bad as people think. And there are some silver linings. Here, what can we do? Well, first of all, in 2 years, we try to take back, we make a damage, we make a dent in the House, in the Senate. In 2 years, the off-year election, always bad for the incumbents, always bad for the sitting president, off-year elections. If the suppressed vote this year, 7 million less votes than last election, 2012, which was lower than 2008, 2012 was. People want to be inspired. So I think we do a progressive coalition. Look, Pramila Jayapal won. She's a progressive. We had some Tammy Duckworth. So we had progressive wins, even in a year when 7 million Democrats didn't show up, or 7 million less people showed up to vote. Hillary had zero coattails. But the weird thing is she won the popular vote, just like Al Gore did, and we're giving the election to the person who lost the popular vote. A system set up by slave-owning white men to keep power in the hands of land-owning white men. Still with us today for no reason except, and here it is, twice this century, 40% of the elections this century, the guy who won the election doesn't get to be president. 40%. So we've had 5 elections, right? 5 elections. One in 2000, 2004, 2008, 2012, and then 2016. That's 5. 2 of them overturned. What is that percentage-wise, 2 of 5?
According to my math computer, that's 40%.
That's 40%.
Use my brain.
I say we have to organize now. So progressives have to organize even more, right? And we have to try to build up unions. We have to build up the Occupy movement. We have to build up Black Lives Matter. We have to have an anti-war movement in America. Why do I say these things? Because if you remember, when Richard Nixon was president, we got that guy to give us OSHA, the EPA. He proposed a health care plan that was better than Obamacare. That was Nixon. Nixon. He did lots of stuff like that. The good thing is that Trump does put an ugly face on the exact policies that Obama and the Dems have been pushing since Bill Clinton. The policies that have hollowed out the middle class and left half the country poor in poverty. That's right. Half the population of the United States is poor in poverty. The United States, the richest country in the world. And half of us are poor. So it's time for progressive resurgence. I think it's coming. I think progressive organizations are going to be speaking up louder. And now we don't have half the people on the left working against us. Right? So that's what happens with Barack Obama and Hillary Clinton. Half the people on the left will work against the left. Well, if Barack Obama's for TPP, maybe I'll put a TPP. Hey, if Hillary Clinton's for gut and welfare, maybe we should gut welfare. Hey, if we should deregulate Wall Street, that's going to be good for our economy. If Barack Obama says we should pass TPP, maybe we can't. Maybe we got to do these kind of trade deals. Maybe we have to. So at least we don't have that anymore. So that's good. That's also a positive. So don't freak out. Start organizing. We'll see what happens. Other people have predicted that Trump will fracture the Republican Party as president. We're going to find out if that happens. We'll see if he can govern. He showed no evidence that he was able to even get along with people in his own party at all. He alienates, pushes them away. So we'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. I'm saying don't freak out. Start organizing. In 2 years, the progressives show up at the polls in off-year elections. And then in 2 more years, we get a real progressive. Maybe we have, maybe Elizabeth Warren runs in 4 years. I mean, there's going to be a lot of ugliness, but there was a lot of ugliness already. So, meaning they already took away habeas corpus, meaning we already have half the people in the country poor, meaning that we're already cracking the heads of peaceful protesters, meaning that the Wall Street is not going to be re-regulated, will crash again. So now the Republicans own everything. So now if people are angry, they only have one party to be angry at, and that's the Republicans. Now they have to deliver. Now they can't just obstruct. Now they have to actually legislate. They have to actually make people's lives better. And you know they're not gonna, and I know they're not gonna. So now it is time for progressives to come together. Now it is time. And the one good thing is we don't have half the left working against us. We don't have half the left trying to get us to accept right-wing corporatist policies. Now we can all stand up together against Donald Trump and all the stuff he's going to try to pass or push. The power has always been in the people's hands. You know, we kept voting for Democrats. And look what they did. Look what Bill Clinton did. What has Barack Obama done? Every 4 years, they go to the African-American community and say, we're going to make your lives better. And every 4 years, it gets a little worse. And that's why people in Wisconsin, Detroit, and Milwaukee didn't come out for Hillary Clinton. It's time for progressives. We're all going to be united going forward. There's an ugly face on the neoliberalism and neocon policies. There's an ugly face. It's easier to oppose now. Those are the positives. Lots of negatives. Those are the positives.